All right, how y'all doing today? So, God put it on my heart to start recording my adventure with the Valet Trash business. I've been going on YouTube, seeing, learning from others, and seeing what people have to offer as far as information. I know it's pretty limited, I guess, because it's a niche industry. There are bigger players out there. I've been learning, but as far as like the smaller business owners, want to send a shout out to Trash and Go and to Valet Trash Kings, them two specifically. For one, they are minority business owners, showing you that they're not letting anything stop them, as well as even not even just that they're minorities, it's just that they are small business owners that is getting in the game that's not very easy, and it's not very easy for them to get into, and they didn't give up. So Valet Trash King, he has a lot of videos. I haven't went through all of them. I think Trash and Go went through probably all his. And I know with Trash and Go, he kind of has a similar story to us. So he said like he said he went over like over 100 properties, and he said he kept getting turned down, and at one point he was giving up. One called him, and that started a snowball effect, and according to an interview he did, he's racking in over $23,000 a month before expenses, and he keeps his expenses pretty low. And the one thing I like about this industry is that it's not a lot of overhead. You need you don't need a lot of equipment. If you do it right, you won't have any stress on your body besides, and it's a lot of exercise with the walking. And other than that, once you get a little bit bigger, then of course you need employees. But try not to keep this a long-winded video. I just want to do a quick background. So in 2023, I live in Las Vegas, and in 2019 I moved into my apartment with my wife, and we had valet trash service. Now the management told us that it was included in our rent, so I'm thinking that whatever the rent price is, that's included in it. But I didn't know that it was going to be a separate line item for it, and I was like, oh wow, okay. So this is something that the tenants don't get to pretty much choose if they want it or not. And but I was like, well, I'm paying for it, so I'm gonna take advantage of it. And it was a nice amenity to have, but I did notice some inconsistencies with the pickups, and just a few things, here and there with the business. And when, let's see, about 2023, about 2023, I just had an epiphany. I was already moved out of there. I had my own house, but I thought about how many units we had in that building, and at that property, and I think we had about maybe 300 something. And I'm like, okay, they charged us $25 to pick up our trash per month, and I'm like, 300 units, I'm like, that's pretty good money. And then also I was doing Uber Eats during COVID, and I noticed that I was seeing the same company at multiple properties. So I'm like, okay, they're baking in some bread here. And then I went to Atlanta, and I saw one of their service vehicles, maybe like a supervisor, somebody riding around the area. I was like, wow. I said, this company is worldwide. Okay. So it made me and my wife think like, well, when you see things that you could do better, and you can give a more feel of a touch because you're a small business, we decided we was going to start our own. And so me and her, or her and my mother-in-law, would go into a few properties in the area and try to talk to them and let them know, we're offering this service as well. And we got some pushback. The problem was either they already had the service with that major carrier, which I would say owns about 97% of Vegas. And they said they had a bad experience with them, and they pretty much don't want to go to anybody else. And they got discouraging, after a while. We had one lead. She really wanted to help us, but she ghosted us after we tried to follow with her, because she said she had to talk with the management, and she was going to something about budgets for the upcoming year, blah blah blah. And after that, it was like, we couldn't get a hold of her. She never returned my calls, my emails. We probably should have went up there, but you can't just go in somebody's office, So we figured that was a dead deal, and I think that was just like the icing on the cake. So we gave up on it. Fast forward to 2024, my mother-in-law moves into an apartment not too far from us, and we tried to pitch the idea to them because it was brand new, and we was like, hey, we offer this service, and the management kept saying like, oh, you should speak to the owner, and I'm like, okay, because at this time, that's when I found out that, okay, even though the tenants are paying $25, the business doesn't get the full $25. There's a profit split. So I said, okay, that makes more sense, because now that gives them some kind of reason to offer this, because now they're getting some money in return. So I'm making a long story. I'm making a short story long, but the owner, I had his phone number, I had his email. I was calling this guy, I was texting him, emailing him. He would never respond. So I'm like, okay, well, he doesn't want the service, obviously. And so a few months go by, and because we were pretty much like giving up on it at that point. But that lead came through, so we just tried to push that one. But a few months go past, my mother-in-law's out of town. I'm checking on the apartment for her to make sure everything's okay. And I see a sign on the door that they said that they're about to start Valet Trash. I immediately get upset, because I'm like, I've been trying to get in contact with this owner for the longest. And they were charging, because the industry here, the major carrier, they charge $25, but this property was charging $32, I think $32. And so my thought was, the owner created his own LLC, a separate LLC, and he's going to keep all the money to himself, which, to be honest, from a business aspect, I said it's not a bad idea. It's smart. So a new manager comes in, and my mother-in-law gets to talking to her, and she's telling them about the Valet Trash. And she mentioned our name, and we were originally called Trash Butlers. Probably shouldn't have said that on. Well, yeah, that's okay. So we originally was called Trash Butlers, and she's like, oh yeah, I saw your name here somewhere, blah blah blah, and I guess she liked, my mother-in-law is a background in sales, so she was like, whatever she said to the lady, and my mother-in-law connects with a lot of people, so whatever she said to the lady connected with her, and the lady said she wanted to talk to us. So we came in, we gave her a presentation, because we noticed that the one problem they had was, instead of what the industry offers is Sunday to Thursday, they were doing 3 days a week. And the tenants there, on the day, I feel that the tenants didn't know what day trash was being picked up. Secondly, they don't care. And some of them, when I asked them, was saying that nobody's coming to pick up my trash. They're like, I'm paying for this and nobody's picking it up. So I'm like, okay, there's a problem, and we here to present a solution. Plus, it's trash bags all around the outside dumpster areas, and we telling her we'll make sure we take care of that, as well as if there need to be violations or anything like that, anything that she had issues with, we told them we can handle. So she was sold. She said I have to give these people a 30-day notice. She was like, when can you? She's like, how fast? I guess can you get a contract, or are you ready to start? I think it was like let's say October, and let's say it was the end of it. My wife tells her we'll have everything for you by November 1st. And I looked at my wife and I was like, wait, what? Because we were still, it was so much I was still learning on the back end as far as business wise. Because I'm like, this is not going to be a hustle for us. This is going to be a business. So I want to make sure, like, I have accounting, what all the expenses we need to pay for, um, equipment, all that stuff. Like, I was learning as I go, but, you know, let me see. Oh, yeah. And so at that same time, my mother-in-law had an LLC and we had our own LLC, and we wanted to figure a way to put them together because we were all going to work as a family. And so we met with a mentor with score.org. If you're ever looking for free mentors, I would like to shout out score.org. They're worldwide from what I know, and they can set you up with a free business mentor for whatever questions you have and things like that. I think you just get 1 hour at a time per. You just gotta like schedule it with someone and then bring all your questions and they'll try to help you. So the mentor told us, why don't we just start a new LLC? Because it was like, he's like combining it and all that type of stuff. It's just too much work. He's like, just start a whole new LLC and all three of you be owners on it. So that's when we came up with Trash Butlers. And for some crazy reason, out of all the things that we did as far as trying to get this business started, I did not search to see if someone else had that name. And I can't believe I didn't even think of that. And so one day I'm just Googling Valet Trash, and Trash Butler comes up, and they said they have business in my town. And I'm like, oh crap. And they're like, I'm looking at their website and I'm realizing that this company is big. And I'm like, okay, so this is going to be a trademark problem, and we can probably get sued or whatever. So now we got to change our name. So I'm immediately pissed because now I have to, because I could have did the paperwork all myself, but because I just didn't want to be hands-on with everything, I decided to hire LegalZoom to do it. And so that means I have to go back to LegalZoom and pay them to amend our name. And that they was like, that could take a month. We could expedite it, but you're going to pay extra this. I think I ended up paying the extra or something like that to get that, pushed through faster through the state to change our name. So now we end up changing to Windy City Trash Valet. And so yeah, so going forward from there, so it took me a little bit of time because I told the lady give me some time because we're doing a name change and we're rebranding and things like that. I think it took us like maybe another month, and I end up like creating Trash and Go was, he created a video about creating a contract. That he said he just did some Googling and things like that. So I did the same thing. Instead of paying a lawyer, I created one. I made sure I highlighted all the things that need to be said. I found some template that kind of helped me, and I just edited it from there. I could have just did ChatGPT. I figured it out later. I could have just did that, and I could have got it done even quickly. But you live and learn. So we tell the lady, hey, here's our contract. We even told her, which is probably not the best method going forward, but we said, I don't know if she told us or if she asked us or we told her. We was like, we'll give you a 6-month trial period to prove ourselves, and after that we're gonna do a long-term contract. Because we found out the company the bigger carrier, they're doing 5-year contracts. So she sends the 30-day notice. The company immediately goes over her head and goes to the regional manager and to the owner and fight for their contract. And they said, and I respect that. I mean, as a business, why are you trying to kick me out? But the problem is that they were not local. They were from out of town and they're not hands-on. So I think that was one reason she wanted to be with us, because we could be hands-on and we were close and we could handle whatever they needed quickly. So that was put on pause. So we didn't want to wait. So we tried to go pitch our business to other properties. And it was tough because everybody else had that other company or they didn't want it. And they were like, yeah, we locked into a 5-year contract. A lot at first, they were all saying they didn't like them. They wanted to get rid of them, but they couldn't because I guess it was going to cost too much to break the lease. And so, I'm sorry. So, so that was a hurdle for us. So we were, it was getting a little bit, you know, I was trying to think of the word. We were stuck in a limbo, and we didn't know if this was going to work out as a business because because we had too much. It wasn't really enough competition. It seems like this company is just they took over the market, and I did some research though. I found out one company had about 5 or 6 contracts with some other properties, and then after riding around, I found one other company that had a contract. I don't know if they have multiples, but I know they had one. So I was like, well, there is competition out there. It's just that this one company owns about 97-98% of the market. So then we ended up deciding, hey, let's add junk removal. And then we had family coming in town that own a cleaning business, so we said we could add cleaning as well. It didn't really work out with that either. I would say within the last week, we decided it's probably good to just cut ties with that. It sounded good, like people were, happy that we were offering that extra. The junk removal part, we were having some issues as far as insurance. I'm having insurance companies that don't want to cover us, especially from like workers' comp, and because we technically had employees, and then for whatever reason, I don't know why, we had one that approved us, and then they said they looked at our social media and they saw that we had junk removal and they decided to cut ties with us. Two other companies said the same thing. They said, oh, it's on your social media, so we can't do it. I was like, okay. So we said, okay, we'll just stick with valet and cleaning. And then we found out, like, with cleaning, because we were trying to do, like, I don't want to clean. I want to hire someone to do that, and we just, we make a cut on the back end. But it seemed like it's not enough profit there. And so we was like, you know what? The valet trash is our calling. So that's where we are now. So back to the property. This is property A that we had technically property B, but this is the one that I was saying that, someone else had the contract and it's fighting for it. Long story short, they got bought out by a bigger company, and that's been happening all around here. And that company decided to cut ties with third-party Valet Trash, and they're going to hire an internal person, which sucks for now for both our companies because now neither one of us has a contract with that. So, that's a dead lead. So, other than that, we decided we're going to pivot. I have a great idea that some other people gave me, and I'm gonna share it on the next story because this is going too long. This is 18 minutes in, so this is just my intro. I'll try to make sure all my other videos is not this long. Hope the audio sounds good. So I'm not really like tech savvy when it comes to audio and editing and things like that. So on the next one, once I should have my website done, hopefully, and then I'll share what I'm going to be doing. I don't want to gatekeep anything. If it's meant for me, it is. Guys, it's in God's hands. So, all right. Thank you for listening. This is Windy City, and we're out.